Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. In this video we want to take a look at the higher time frame count as well, and then work our way down to the 4-hour and 1-hour charts, and then even the lower time frame. Sometimes we do this, not in every video of course, but from time to time, also to sort of make sure that new viewers are up to speed with all-time high targets and so on. But before we dive deeper into the analysis, first a few words about the sponsor of today's Bitcoin video, Chartprime. Chartprime is a service that provides specific TradingView indicators. There are 5 specific and unique indicators that you can only get through Chartprime if you sign up to one of their plans. These are based on quite complex algorithms and formulas and can be helpful in identifying trade setups, which means they can provide additional signals that could support your trading. Indicators can, for example, also be useful to support Elliott Wave counts to give more confidence. Of course, you don't need to apply Elliott Wave to use Chartprime, and the combination of their indicators alone can provide trade setups and signals as well. They currently offer a 30% limited time discount, so if you are interested in this, check it out. Of course, bear in mind that no indicator works 100% of the time. Here's an example of the Bitcoin chart with one of the range indicators. This indicator combines various indicators in itself, so you can adjust it to your needs, but it basically shows your range resistances, different support resistance levels based on different time frames, and it categorizes them based on their relevance. And this indicator provides you with dynamic support and resistance bands to which the price is reacting. And if you're interested in checking it out, make sure that you use the link in the video description and on their website. You can also read through testimonials and you can join their Discord community, which you can join in case you have any questions about how to use those indicators. So the relevant time frame we want to look at here is the daily chart, and we want to take a look at the movement that occurred from March 2020 all the way up to April 21. I see this as a larger wave 1. And then we came down in an A wave, moved up in an overshooting B wave, and came down in a C wave. This B wave did overshoot perfectly, within the range that a B wave is allowed to overshoot. And then we have started to come down here in an impulsive wave pattern in 5 waves. Actually, you can also count this as a diagonal if you wish to. There's just different ways of doing it. But the point is that we technically have enough waves to the downside to consider the entire move down complete, but we don't have the confirmation yet that the bear market low was in, and I'm still leaning towards one more lower low. I would still like to see Bitcoin in the sort of 14K region, maybe 13K, maybe even a little lower. I mean, it sounds strange. I want to see it. I don't necessarily want to, but it is still based on the structure that the chart creates, still a decent probability, okay? And obviously since November we've seen upside. Now a lot of people are turning already long-term bullish again. I mean, long-term bullish, I guess most people are long-term bullish, but a lot of people and analysts are already saying the bear market is over. Now I'm not convinced. Surely we can see some upside, also further upside, but I think the risk of another low is still very much there. Now, before we work our way down, I wanted to take a look at the all-time high target for Bitcoin in the next bull run. And we can only measure it based on the November low. Yeah? If we once more drop lower, then I will have to adjust that slightly and targets will change a little. But here the target would be 114K sort of as a minimum. I would say between 114K and 137K for this third wave. That's between the 1.618 Fibonacci extension and the 200% extension. We should then get a shallow 4th wave and rally in a 5th wave. And that can take us to 175K. No, I'm not saying that will definitely happen this year, but you know, maybe next year is certainly a possibility. It can happen this year, yeah, you know, even that bull run here, that bull run that started in March 2020, that took, I mean, if you see that took from March 2020 to April 21, so basically an entire year, okay? And when we finally start at some point, then we make our second attempt at 100K. Because as you know, a lot of people expected 100K back end of 2021. Now, if we then take a look at the movement that occurred since the end of June, or since June, yeah, then we can see that this could either be a bullish or let's say a bearish structure that came down and bottomed, bottomed here in the alternative scenario in November, where we say, okay, the bear market low was in here. That's technically possible if I have 3 waves down. If I count the entire move of the all-time high as an ending diagonal in a C wave, which is possible. And therefore, I'm considering only therefore I consider the possibility that the bear market low was already in. Otherwise, I would say 1 wave is missing. The only way to solve it is with a truncation that I say, okay, actually, we had in this last wave down. So basically, in a scenario where we say it has bottomed in November, we would say the wave 4 peaked here in August. So we came down in June in a wave 3. We peaked here in August 2022. And we then came down in either 3 waves, where we're saying, okay, we came down in 3 waves and bottomed here in the 5th wave of the wave 2, 5th wave of the C wave of the wave 2. In 3 waves, if we count the entire move of the all-time high as an ending diagonal, because in an ending diagonal, all the subwaves are 3-wave structures. Or we say, all right, we actually had a 1, so if we can also count it impulsive, then we would say we came down in wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, failed to make a lower low, basically bottomed as a truncated wave here, back in December actually. In that case, the bear market low would be in December. But then I would have difficulties to count this, okay? So I'd rather go with the ending diagonal structure. But that's only the alternative. Decent probability that the bear market low is in, yes, but in the end, all we've seen so far is 5 waves up, which is not really great confirmation that the bear market low has been made, because what do you need for confirmation? There are, just a reminder, as per Elliott Wave, there are 3 levels of confirmation that you need, that a structure is turning around in it and the trend is changing. The first one is we need 5 waves up. Okay, we've got that in this case, yeah. Minimum at least has been achieved. So we've got 5 waves up. That's the first level of confirmation, but that doesn't necessarily increase probabilities massively. Then 3 waves down in an ABC, that's the second level of confirmation. So we need 5 up, 3 down, and then ideally you want to go above the previous high of the wave 1 here. And that's the third level of confirmation. Confirmation doesn't mean certainty, it can still break down, but it increases probabilities massively that the trend has shifted. Trend changes are the most difficult regions to trade. That's also why it is so difficult to analyze cryptos at the moment, and that is why there are so many different voices about, is the low already in, is it not in? Yeah, many people will only realize that the bottom has been made when Bitcoin is already back at 50, 60K. And that is when a lot of retailers come in again to buy the overinflated prices, you could say, right? But therefore, you're here now, people are now worried about, I'm buying at 22K, I'm buying at 20K. Honestly, in the end, in the bull run, it will only matter that you bought in the bear market at some point, to be honest, okay? So understand that, and based on that, build your strategy. But yeah, this is, of course, the bullish case, that we would move up in 5 waves here, come down in 3, hit this support area between 17,567 and 20,377. In a wave 2, we should bottom there and then rally. But if we drop below 17,567, then it is this count where we're saying, yes, we had in August only an A wave to the upside. We came down in a B wave, and we're now rallying in a C wave that can also be a 5-wave move. And therefore, the 5 waves to the upside alone are not giving us enough clarity and confirmation that the trend has changed, because it could simply be a C wave of that 4th wave, okay? And then in the end, we might come down in 5 waves. I still find that an absolute logical structure and scenario. Not many people talk about it. I haven't seen anyone else talk about this scenario, but it's actually very, very logical, because we moved down correctively in an A wave. We came down in 3 waves in a correction. That could be an A wave, that could be a B wave, and now we're rallying in a C wave in 5 waves. Now, does that mean, therefore, I will wait for the absolute lowest price? No, of course not. So when we get a decent pullback, I'm going to buy in, yeah, for the long term. Yeah, probably even without a stop, while still leaving cash aside for even lower prices. I think that's always a good strategy, especially in a bear market, to really then wait for the next all-time high. Okay. Okay, and now let's go to the 1 hour chart. And yeah, here we are now with the, the question remains, has this structure that started in November already topped? These 5 waves that we just talked about, has it topped or not? It possibly has topped, but my primary expectation is still that it hasn't topped. Yeah, and the reason is that this move up here, the last wave, the possibly last wave of that move, was a bit too short. Had it been a bit longer or had it had a bit more structure, it would have been okay. I would have accepted that. At the moment, I've got my problems to think that it already topped. Therefore, this movement is quite likely that we talked about in recent videos. That's the primary expectation short term, that we only rallied here in a first wave. That was when we peaked back in, I think on the 16th of Feb. We rallied in a 5-wave move, came down in a 3-wave structure, hit our trend reversal area, we reversed out of it. Now we're, I think, back in it, but so far we have seen a reaction. We could move up in a 3rd wave next to 29K, come down in a 4th, rally in a 5th. So this is the primary expectation. This is the primary expectation as long as short term, yeah? We have different time frames. What I showed you just 5 minutes ago was the overall, the higher level scenario. We're now talking about a different time frame on the 1 hour chart. Okay, so and here we can currently say that we bottomed on the weekend. Yeah, we can carefully say that. I'm not too confident about that, but so far we are holding all the support areas that were defined, yeah, and even reacted to resistance I highlighted earlier today. I can't remember if I highlighted that in the previous video or if it was just a signal on the signals channel on Telegram and Discord for channel members, because if we zoom in now, we can see that we obviously moved up in 5 waves since the weekend low, but I highlighted to you that this is not a great structure, so it could easily be a correction. We need to be prepared for possibly another low, but we can give it the benefit of the doubt. So let's say we moved up in 5 waves in a wave 1. We came down in an A wave, moved up in a B wave. We hit perfectly the 61.8 retracement. I think I didn't highlight in the previous video, but I did give a previous update on Telegram and Discord today. Sometimes I forget what I talked about in the previous video because I'm looking at so many charts during the day. But I think it was a signal highlighting that we could just be doing a B wave, might react to resistance and come down in a C wave. There are two, this would be still this would be the micro count of the bullish, short-term bullish scenario that we just came down in an A wave. Here was a B wave where we reacted at 23.6K and sold off. This move down should nearly finish. And ideally in this bullish scenario, it turns around before it breaks below 22.9K. Then we can get a 3rd wave, phenomenal reward to risk ratio here, but again, not necessarily a highly probable long trade because the structure of the weekend low is just a bit messy. What else to talk about? Yeah, and I mean, of course, there is also a case where how would the structure look like if we morph and move into the bearish scenario, or at least a 5-wave move down? So what you need to understand, if we drop below 22,968, then it will increase the probability that this 1-2 setup of the weekend lows is breaking. Yeah. Then we can say that we only moved up in a correction, possibly an ABC structure, and we're coming down in 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we need to see, do we actually hold the larger support area? 22,184 is the key level here. And if we don't, then we go into the alternative scenario, okay? Which is the one that we just discussed all the time, which is basically that the structure of the November lows has already peaked and we're coming down in an ABC correction. And this will be the scenario in which we will get some clarity about, is the bear market low already in or not? But for now, I'm focused on higher, especially as long as the 22,968 level is holding. If that drops or falls or breaks, then we fall back to 22,184. But as long as these support levels are holding, I'm focused here imminently on higher. So there wasn't not too much going on today other than a little bit of a roller coaster ride like yesterday, but really we're just moving in a tight range. And yes, we've seen a few red candles here towards the end of the day, but it's holding support at the moment. And there isn't really anything else to add. And we just need to see now, do we hold here? Do we react to it? And do we rally in a 3rd wave shortly? That would be amazing. Then even the short-term scenario would work out here. But again, it's not necessarily high confidence, unfortunately, because it's not a clear impulse to the upside, and the downside looked quite impulsive. So yeah, I'll keep you updated. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.